N2 Wild Coast route will follow the existing N2 between East London to Mthatha. Then from Mthatha it'll follow the existing R61 alignment down to just outside Port St John's, where it starts the new Greenfield section. The Greenfield section goes through what is called the Ponderland biome, an area of unique vegetation. Before we start any construction, we send in a specialized team that goes in at various intervals to take up bulbs and succulents and other plants that can be relocated. We've set up nurseries that then propagate these plants, and these plants are then used both for the rehabilitation and, when we have an excess, are translocated also into some of the protected areas like Mkombati Nature Reserve. Because it's a lot flatter and will be a higher speed road, it will be about an hour and a half quicker for light vehicles and up to 3 hours quicker for heavy vehicles. There are a few households which are affected that we will relocate within their own community. We also have to identify graves and relocate the graves. There's a traditional ceremony that must be followed, and then the actual remains themselves must be relocated by undertakers. Part of government's directive is to ensure rural development and the development of small, medium, micro enterprises, SMMEs as we know them, particularly in the areas where the projects occur. And part of what SANRAL is doing is identifying and training SMMEs up front to ensure that when we actually start building the roads, we actually have local SMMEs that have got the necessary expertise and experience that they can actually take a meaningful part in the project itself. And then obviously we're also engaging with all the other stakeholders such as local businesses. There's several business chambers that we're talking to. Everyone obviously, you can understand, in that area is eager to get a part of whatever happens. Ribbon development is the description of how human settlements tend to congregate and become quite dense alongside transportation corridors, particularly highways. SANRAL, together with the local municipalities and the local traditional authorities, we've already met and we've talked about how we're going to try and minimize ribbon development. A lot of it will lie with the local chiefs because they are responsible for the allocation of land parcels. And part of what SANRAL will do is the surfacing of these local access roads to ensure that people will settle next to the surfaced access roads rather than alongside the N2 itself. We've got a lot of communities that are actually very remote from the nearest towns and social infrastructure such as hospitals. The communities agree with us that the positives far outweigh the negatives. The fact that they will now be able to get to town, some sort of will be like 10 minutes drive from town now, where previously it was 2 hours drive. This project, I believe, is going to make a huge difference to hundreds of thousands of people.